Hey, welcome back to another Netcast. I'm Rich Lopez, Quantrix Authority. Sincerely appreciate you joining me today for episode number 150. Return at category item where there is a match of max value. I came across this one today at my day job and I wanted to share it with you because it's pretty awesome. It's always awesome when you're working in Quantrix and you're figuring stuff out and doing things that have never been done before because you can do that in this tool. I have here a list of machines and I have a labor class. And what I want to do is further down in my model, I want to calculate the labor class by the machine, but I really only want to consider the labor class that where most of the units have been produced. Okay, so how can I find for each machine where most of the labor or most of the units have been produced? Where can I find the labor class by machine? So what I have here is I have a list of units of where and what labor class has produced those units for the respective machine. And what I do is I go ahead and I say, well, give me the max value of those. So what I would say is I'd call A2, I'd call it max value. And then I go max value equals the max of units across the labor class. And what that does is that just brings me this 78, which is the max value, this 98, which is the max value for here, 89, which is for machine 3. Now what I want to do is I want to find out where that max value is. So what I would do is create another one, and I would say maybe I'll call it position of max value. And I say equals match. What do I want to match? I want to match the max value. And what is my search range? It's really units. Units labor class, okay? And I want my match type to be 0, which is exact. And let me just put a space in there. And then it tells me that I'm at position 3, or yes, position 3 of labor class for this machine to get my max, and I can see that's the case here. I can see that's the case with 98 here. I can see it's 2 here. If I were to go ahead and I were to say update this, make it 500, I would expect to see this change. Now what I do is I simply use the value at function, and I say, okay, so I'm going to call this labor class use, and I would simply say equals value at, and then go at labor class as my index. And let me make sure I put a space in there. And what is my index value? It is position of max value. When I go ahead and I do that, you can see that it's bringing back the max labor class, or it's bringing back the labor class that I need to use based off my logic that I want to use the one that has the maximum amount of units produced. Anyway, I hope you find that useful, using some match functionality, max functionality, and the value at function in Quantrix Modeler. If you have any questions about anything complex you're working on in Quantrix, I hope that you will reach out to me at quantrixauthority@gmail.com. I absolutely love Quantrix. I want to make you a Quantrix master. So please join me again for another episode of Quantrix Authority with Rich Lopez.